How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the sixth episode of the Smart Money Show. Guys, first and foremost, I really want to thank every single one of you guys for the amazing support that you've been showing this podcast, because this is something that I started and I really didn't expect it to go anywhere, and it's really taken off, so as I said, really thank every single one of you guys for tuning in, and I'm really happy to share my experience in trading with you guys. So in today's episode, okay, we're going to keep it short, sweet and simple, but we're going to discuss something that's very important, and that is how to stop making your trading mistakes. Okay, so we've already discussed why you're losing. Okay, we've already discussed how to identify, and a lot of people already kind of discuss the different ways people lose, which is like, revenge trading, over leveraging, etc. But how do you stop it? Okay. Well, first and foremost, as we all know, identifying a problem is the first step to finding the solution. Okay, so once you identify that, okay, I clearly have an issue right here with revenge trading or the fear of missing out. And, a lot of us, we can kind of already identify that. Okay, but we really fail to stop ourselves in the moment. Okay, I've been through many different stages, many different mistakes where in the moment I felt like I was making that mistake. I knew that I was that I had FOMO. I knew that potentially I might have been revenge trading that trade, or I shouldn't have entered there, or potentially I might have stacked too much, over leveraged, made some sort of stupid mistake that went against my plan, and I was basically paralyzed. I still kept going. Okay, and I still kept continuing with that mistake, and there was multiple chances where I would think to myself, okay, I have a chance right now to close my trade at break even and get out of that revenge trade, okay, and reset, but I don't. Okay, and this is an issue that's common occurrence. That's kind of the first stage. As I said, the first stage is identifying that you have that issue, okay, and the second stage is you already know that you're making this certain mistake. You already know your fault, but you genuinely can't seem to fix it, and you seem to realize you're very self-aware about it, but when it's happening to you in the moment, you can't seem to stop it. So how do we get rid of this? So one of the best ideas that I kind of usually always tell my students is what I used to do back when I was starting, maybe 2 years into my journey. What I had was a trading partner, trading buddy. Okay, just have someone there with you, and the accountability there is very important. Okay, being accountable, that someone is kind of watching over your trades, seeing what you're doing. Okay, this is what you notice as well. A lot of the time, a lot of people seem to kind of perform much better with the funded accounts rather than trading their own accounts, because there's that factor that there's someone kind of watching your account. Okay, there's someone kind of watching your trades. Okay, your account is being monitored in a sense. Okay, so that accountability factor is very important. So what me and myself and that partner did is we set up an Excel sheet. Okay, and on one side there was his trades, and yeah, we just had like a column for potentially like the percentage, a column for like a trade comment, okay, a column about our emotion when we got into that trade, and emotion and when we exited that trade, and then obviously there was going to be a column for me as well. And we would simply just go through, and whatever trades we were taking, we would place there. And at the end of the week, we would kind of hop on a little call, 30 minutes, and go through. Okay, the accountability there is brilliant, because if you find yourself that you're committing that same mistake over and over again, you'll have that partner to be able to be there for you, okay, and call you out on that mistake, okay, to wake you up. Now, that potentially might work for some people, okay, that's if you're responsible enough, because God knows, like, you could simply just not even put those trades down on the Excel sheet, okay, and just lie your way through it. Obviously, it might not help you, but you might feel too embarrassed and you don't want to show that you had 5 losses in a row, whatever it is. So another idea that I sent out to, that I usually tell to a lot of my students as well, is what you can do is learn how to punish yourself. Okay, so if you remember, okay, as kids, we learned certain things by being punished, and I guess kind of that's just the human nature. Okay, that's the nature of us humans. We only learn when we get punished. When we see that when we commit a certain action, we get a lightning strike straight away. Okay, get that little slap on the hand, then that kind of alerts us in the next time. We might commit that mistake one more time, and we get another slap. We might commit it one more time, we get another slap. Each time we try to commit it again, we're a bit more hesitant, until eventually we clearly understand, yo, just stop. Like this is completely incorrect. I tried this multiple times, and this has literally come, like there was no fruition out of this, okay? I did not benefit here at all. So you eventually start stopping. So how would you punish yourself in the sense of trading? Okay, how would you punish yourself for taking bad trades, whatever it is? There's multiple different ways, okay? And as I said, there's multiple ideas, and you can come up with your own ideas. But the main key is being able to obviously punish yourself. One of the ideas was potentially for every single bad trade that you got into, potentially you can have a certain fixed amount that you might donate to a certain charity. Okay, so for every bad trade that you take, you can just donate to charity, 10 euros, 20 euros, just a fixed amount, donate that, okay? This is a beautiful thing. Why? Because at the same time, you're punishing yourself by kind of, getting rid of your own money, okay? But at the same time, I guess you're helping the people in need, or it's for a good cause either way, okay? Another thing that you could do, maybe with your trading buddy, is you can set up something where for every mistake that you do, okay, you add up those mistakes at the end of the week, and whatever it is, maybe for like each mistake, it's worth 10 euro, for example. Okay. And you commit 10 mistakes for that week. What you do is you send that partner 100 euros at the end of the week. That's your punishment for the week. Okay. And vice versa. So what you're teaching yourself to do here is for every single mistake that you make, there's going to be a consequence. Okay. Honestly, it does, as I said, it really doesn't matter what you do. Okay, these are some of the ideas that I potentially tried before. These are some of the ideas that I kind of, as I said, told people to try out. You can literally come up with anything. But the main idea here is you need to punish yourself for committing those mistakes. Okay, you can literally set up like a jar for your kids, for your partner, whatever it is. Honestly, just have something there that kind of takes away from you just to punish yourself as a consequence for committing that act. Okay. Now, when I say committing a trading mistake and taking a bad trade, what do I mean by bad trade? Okay. And a lot of people might potentially get confused here. A bad trade is subjective. What I mean is, for me, a bad trade could potentially be something different to the meaning of your bad trade. Basically, a bad trade doesn't mean a loss. It means that you went against your rules. So if you have specific predefined rules in your trading system and you went against them, that's a bad trade. Regardless of you either making a loss or a win, okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad or a good trade. Okay, the outcome doesn't really matter. Understanding if it's a good or bad trade is by seeing, okay, did I actually tick the checklist in my trading system? Okay, that's the most important part. So when it comes to even like punish yourself, even if you made a win, okay, you ended that trade in profit, okay, just as long as you went against your trading rules, whether it is potentially not waiting for the specific trading system confirmations that you're supposed to get into, or risking more than you were supposed to, or falling to a mindset trap, okay, even if that trade ended in profit, well, I would consider that as a bad trade, and in turn, I would then eventually punish myself. Okay, and this is a very important thing, guys, because as I said, this is kind of something like, as everyone knows, mindset is one of the most important things. In fact, the most important thing when it comes to trading. Okay, and it's the fall of many great traders. There's some brilliant traders out there, and I mean the analysis, brilliant. They get nearly everything right. Okay, their risk management is on point, because at the end of the day, risk management is very systematic. It's actually not difficult. Once you understand how to risk manage properly, it's something that you just kind of learn once and you go with. But with trading, okay, with the psychology aspect of it, it's much more difficult, because there's no way you can actually genuinely master psychology. Okay, you can't master psychology. You're going to have times where you're still going to create, where you're still going to make psychological mistakes, and that's very fine. Okay, it's normal. None of us are actually going to be able to completely master psychology, because we are not robots. The only way you can completely 100% execute a system autonomously is going to be by using a robot. Okay, other than that, you're going to be making mistakes. The beautiful thing about it is, if you're risking 0.5%, if you're risking 1%, you can afford to make those mistakes. Okay, you can afford to make those mistakes. Once-off mistakes are totally fine. They happen to literally the best of us. Okay, once in a while, maybe after 2 week streak, you might fall into a little bit of FOMO and get into potentially a bad trade. Okay, but as long as you risk manage properly and you know how to manage your trade, okay, the worst you'll get out of that trade is by losing 0.5%, 1%. Okay. Some mistakes are obviously going to be more costly than others. You have to really, really be able to knuckle down the much, much tougher ones, such as like over leveraging. Some of them, you can't, they're unforgivable. Okay. And then there's the less, the more minor mistakes, potentially, missing a certain confirmation that you're supposed to be always looking out for. Maybe your confirmation is making sure that you need to see a break of structure first before entering into a sell or entering to a buy from the supplier demand zone, etc., etc. So yeah, if you don't do that and you do kind of make that mistake, and yeah, obviously punish yourself. Okay. Let your mind know that there's going to be consequences for committing that sort of mistake. But at the end of the day, thankfully, you have that risk management in place to protect yourself. Okay. That's not to say though that you let your risk management do the fighting for you. Okay, it shouldn't be that way. You need to have a way, you need to have a system in order to discipline yourself. And I believe, due to human nature, the best way in order for us to really, really discipline ourselves and get ourselves in the best mental and psychological form possible is to punish ourselves, okay, continuously punish ourselves and continuously reflect on the mistakes that we are making, okay. Eventually then, subconsciously, we're going to stop making those mistakes. Okay, and if we do make those mistakes, it's going to be to a very, very, very minimum. Okay, that's what I want you guys to do over the next few months. That's what I want you to do. I want you to come up with a system like this, potentially see if you can get an accountability partner, whether it's like maybe even a community, okay, specific little group with people, just a single trading partner. Try find someone like that and then come up with a plan, okay, a plan to make sure that whenever you commit mistakes, you're going to always have consequences for those mistakes, and come back to me with the results, guys. And I promise you, you're going to see a massive, massive change in the way you approach the markets and in the way you handle your psychology. Okay, so that's pretty much it from me, guys. As I said, I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning into these episodes. Hopefully you guys are gaining a lot of value from this. Once again, guys, please make sure to drop a follow on the Smart Money Show playlist on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're watching this, okay, because this is going to be shared on multiple different platforms. As well as that, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Instagram, FU Academy _FX, okay. All these things are very, very appreciated. And with that being said, I'll leave you guys here and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Have a brilliant day. Bye bye.